Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It started like any other episode of The Chase. Bradley Walsh strode onto the set with his usual wit and swagger, grinning from ear to ear as the audience clapped and whistled. The studio lights beamed down, illuminating the glossy floors and the iconic chaser board in the background. "Welcome to The Chase," Bradley announced. Could one of today's contestants be smart enough, fast enough, and just lucky enough to beat one of the finest quiz minds in the country? Backstage, Shaun Wallace, known to millions as the Dark Destroyer, stood quietly, arms folded, staring at the screen showing the contestants' introductions. Something about his demeanor today was different. His shoulders slouched ever so slightly. His usually sharp eyes had softened. A makeup artist gently dabbed powder on his forehead, but he barely noticed. As the first contestant walked to the podium, Shaun took a long breath. "Shaun, you're up," a producer whispered. He nodded and walked towards the studio doors. When they swung open, the crowd cheered, but there was a pause, a beat too long, before Shaun broke into his typical serious stare. Even Bradley, ever the observer, cocked his head curiously. "You all right, mate?" he asked as Shaun took his seat at the chaser's podium. Shaun nodded slightly. Of course. Let's play. But something had shifted. After the episode wrapped, with a dramatic final chase and close loss for the team, the applause died down and the set emptied. Bradley found Shaun sitting alone in the break room, a cup of untouched coffee in his hands. "You sure you're okay?" Bradley asked, lowering himself into the seat across from him. Shaun looked up slowly. "Yeah, just tired, that's all." "You? Tired? You're the machine of this show. Never miss a beat." Shaun chuckled quietly but didn't reply. Bradley's eyes narrowed. "Is this about what the doctor said last week? You never did tell us how that went." There was a silence so thick it felt like a wall. Shaun took a deep breath. "They found something," he said. "In my lungs." Bradley's expression dropped. "A mass," Shaun clarified. "They don't know if it's benign. I'm going in for more tests." Bradley reached over the table, putting a hand on Shaun's wrist. "Bloody hell. Mate, why didn't you say anything?" "I didn't want to worry anyone. And to be honest, I didn't want to believe it myself." Over the next few weeks, the chase set remained a hive of energy. Contestants came and went, chasers bantered on camera, and viewers at home had no idea what was brewing behind the scenes. But Jenny Ryan noticed. So did Anne Hegarty and Paul Sinha. Shaun was losing weight. His posture was more hunched. He smiled less. One day, during a break in filming, Anne cornered him in the green room. "Out with it, Wallace. You're ill, aren't you?" Shaun sighed, rubbing his eyes. "It's complicated." Anne folded her arms. "Try me." He nodded slowly. "It's early-stage lung cancer. They caught it. Not too late, but not early either." Anne's eyes widened. "Have you started treatment?" "I'm about to. Chemo starts next week. Radiation after. I didn't want to stop filming." "You're mad," Anne said, though her voice was soft. I needed the normalcy. This show keeps me grounded." One Thursday morning, Shaun surprised everyone by asking for an unscheduled meeting. The entire production crew, fellow chasers, and even ITV execs gathered in the main studio. He stood center stage, the famous chaser board behind him, but this time there were no cameras rolling. "I want to say something," he began, voice low but firm. He explained everything, his diagnosis, the treatment plan, the uncertainty of the months ahead. And then he said something that made even Bradley tear up. I've always believed in mind over matter. But there are some things you can't outthink or outsmart. Life's got the ultimate final chase waiting for all of us. Mine just might be closer than I thought. Silence fell over the room. I'll be taking a short break from the show, Shaun added. But I'll be back. Because I'm not done yet. The news broke the following day. The Chase star Shaun, Wallace reveals cancer battle. Tomorrow isn't promised. Across social media, messages poured in. You've got this, Shaun. Stay strong. Sending love and strength to the Dark Destroyer. Our family has watched you for years. We're rooting for you. A video clip from the chase went viral, one where Shaun years ago had said during an interview, "Knowledge is my armor, but compassion is my strength." It resonated now more than ever. Chemotherapy hit Shaun hard. The once robust quiz titan now found himself battling nausea, fatigue, and weakness that scared him more than any trivia question ever could. His nephew, Lewis, moved in to help. So did a private nurse. Still, Shaun insisted on studying quiz books. He watched reruns of the show. He called Bradley weekly to chat, sometimes just to hear a joke. But the nights were hardest. Lying awake in the silence of his London flat, Shaun would whisper to himself, "I'm not done yet." 6 months passed. Then one morning, Anne received a text from Shaun. "Meet me in the ITV lot. Don't tell the others." Surprise brewing. When she arrived, he was there, thinner, hair mostly gone, but smiling. "Miss me?" he asked. "You stubborn man," Anne murmured, pulling him into a hug. That evening, Shaun made his return. The audience erupted. When Bradley saw him step onto the stage, he pretended to wipe sweat from his brow. "About time. I've been carrying this show on my back." Shaun laughed, a real full laugh. "I told you, I'm not done." During an interview with Lorraine on ITV, Shaun opened up more candidly than ever before. Cancer makes you reevaluate everything, every plan, every memory, every regret. "What's your biggest takeaway from all this?" Lorraine asked gently. Shaun paused, then said, "That tomorrow isn't promised, but today is mine, and I plan to make it count." In the months that followed, Shaun not only returned to the chase, but launched a charity initiative focused on cancer awareness in black men, a demographic often diagnosed later than others. He held speaking events, wrote articles, even penned a memoir titled "Final Chase: My Journey Beyond the Quiz Board." Contestants began walking up to the podium saying, "Shaun, you inspired me to get checked. Thank you." And he'd smile, humbled, nodding. "Glad you did." 2 years after his diagnosis, Shaun sat again across from Bradley during a special live charity episode. The audience was buzzing. Bradley leaned over and said, off mic, "You all right?" Shaun smiled. "I've never been better." During the final chase, Shaun was electric, answering with speed, power, precision. The crowd roared with every correct answer. And when they won, Shaun stood, placed a hand over his heart, and bowed his head slightly. Not as the Dark Destroyer, but as Shaun Wallace, the man who fought for today, because tomorrow isn't promised. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.